Hi everyone. I'm actually going to make a really quick video, but I just I couldn't help but think about it because that I've been contemplating making a video about this topic that about healing and recovery, moving on in life, moving ahead, everything, and also the bunch of friends that we have. Yeah, I was thinking about this topic that the the kind of friends or people we keep around us, they can either hinder or bring forward and accelerate our leveling up and our healing progress. And I kind of realized this, it's not that I'm trying to, accuse anyone of anything, because as much as I hate to say it, because the thing is this, I realized a few days ago, not just a few days ago, in fact during the so-called New Year season, I know that this is kind of strange that people, normally during the New Year season or even Christmas season when we actually wish someone we wish someone like Happy New Year. All this is just like I mean, especially to friends. This is our goodwill, okay? But the funny thing is this: when you wish someone Happy New Year, you send them videos, whatever. But the strange thing is that for the long period of time, you feel as if they have kind of like ghosted on you. When I say ghosted, is in they simply don't reply to you. Okay, they don't reply. Yes, whatever. Uh, Maybe I'm demanding whatever, but it feels as if I'm actually the one making the initiative all the time to talk to them, to ask them about stuff and whatever. And the thing is this, I hate being the one to actually initiate all that kind of conversation. And every time it gets to that kind of situation where all I hear is radio silence. What's the point of keeping that friendship? It doesn't matter. I could have known the person for like years and years since goodness knows when. On and Yeah, I kind of realized this because I hate to say it because maybe some of these friends also follow my YouTube channel or whatever, or they are aware of it. But the thing is this, you can't keep people for whom the friendship is even one-sided. Okay, I hate to say it, and this is the truth. Okay, I'm not going to name names, but it's just like when you realize, oh, someone or whoever in that particular circle of friends is actually, I mean, this is the normal part of life. Every one of us have different phases, and as we evolve, as we move on in life, some people choose to stick around with certain people, and there are different levels of friendship as well. That's the personal friendship. That's the friends that you make from work, and uh, I know some people who actually they are so-called aim is to stick around with so-called socialites, and they say, oh, that socialites are very easy because that's all the one thing they want is very simple. That was what one friend told me, and I don't understand that, but that's just perspective. But I realized this one thing though, when you have so-called friends who do not initiate or put in the effort, and then you realize that the friendship is kind of like it's a very stagnant friendship because basically when when we do talk, okay, that kind of friendship, um, then it revolves around their particular likes, okay, which I'm not interested in anyway. And then I tell them about things, my opinion, everything, and then they don't put in there's no input whatsoever, and so everything is very one-sided. It's not symmetrical. I hate to say it, if you're actually in this kind of situation, um, you don't have to actually necessarily cut the friendship off, but you should realize this: stop making the effort to initiate any contact because it's not fair to you. I mean, it's not fair to me in this case. That's what I felt, and I felt that it was actually deteriorating into some kind of resentment. I didn't say that because actually it's actually that particular friend's birthday, but I felt that I was kind of like I was full of resentment. Okay, and I felt that it's like damn, no reciprocation when I said Happy New Year. Everything was just like this, and I don't know when the things change, when the dynamics change. It probably started changing somewhere. I have no idea when. Okay, but the one thing is this: when you want to grow as a person, and I'm sure that everyone who actually has gotten out of a narcissistic relationship, whether it's like years ago or whether it's recently, you want to grow as a person, okay? You cannot be keeping friends who are not helping you, okay? And I hate to say it because at that point I remember years ago, there are many kinds of friends, okay, many kinds of friends, acquaintances, whatever. Back when I was in that relationship, so-called situationship or relationship or manipulationship, the thing was this: one of the pieces of advice that was given by one friend, uh, I didn't tell that friend that was bad advice, but it was really bad advice. Okay, guess what he said? He said, "Oh, if they are actually seeing many other people, you're also free to do that." Like what? So you're saying that for someone's promiscuity, you actually repay that promiscuity with your own promiscuity? What more? What shitty or what horrible moral advice is that? I mean, it probably isn't moral advice anyway. And the thing is this: I kind of like realized I didn't say that, but it was like, okay, well, that's your own point of view. I don't have to do that. But the funny thing was, it's like, oh, then you say, oh, you shouldn't really ask for anything. Just don't act because if you act and ask for a so-called reply or whatever from the other person, from the other, your date or whatever, then that this thing the thing that you give off the impression they are whiny and people don't like you being whiny or dependent and they'll run away. And okay, so now it has become a gaslighting of me, okay, that it is my fault that I'm actually sending messages that I'm very needy, I'm very whiny, I'm very blah blah blah, okay. It doesn't matter that we knew each other for like years since I mean we were from the same high school, whatever. But I kind of realized, wow, I told one friend who was another outsider to that relationship, and he said, that's pretty bad advice, actually. And that other friend was not even Christian. I was like, okay, now, okay. Okay, what am I trying to say? Okay, the thing is this, and then later on, you guess what? Months or years after that, when he heard that friend give me that so-called bad advice, realizes, oh, you were in an abusive situation. You didn't tell me that. Why would I tell you? Because you would have actually sided with the freaking narc. You were saying that people are like just full of their suspicions. They have their own baggage, so we should just cut them loose and have some like give them some slack, cut them some slack. That's not how it goes, okay? So the one thing is this, okay, if you have such a person, such a friend, I don't recommend keeping them. Okay, this is really very serious because once you have such a person, it doesn't matter. They can have the same faith as you, they whatever, but that changing dynamics. And the thing is this: if they were not there, okay, you have to ask yourself this question. After, especially over time, if I were to meet them now, would I actually befriend them? The answer has to be a yes or a no. If it's a no, then you have better start thinking, okay, what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna just like disappear all the way? I recommend simply based on what the way he responded everything to my New Year post, everything, I really don't recommend responding anymore, okay. I would just simply disappear off the radar and stop talking for at least 6 months to a year. And if you are really that important of a friend, they will actually re-establish contact. But I think that it wouldn't happen, okay. It's very unlikely. So yeah. So the thing is this, we know people based on how much they put into the relationship. It applies to friendship as well as romantic relationships and even business transactions and everything. So and as I grow older, I realize I don't like transactional things. I don't like things where it's very asymmetrical. And this is the whole thing. I can't remember that just now. I was in a serious state of distress, partially because I was getting triggered by that one particular friend's birthday post. Oh, everything is so good. Like I'm surrounded by all these people from work, from the socialite circle that he makes us around with, although he's not socialite, but whatever. I mean, it's fine, we're not very close friends, whatever, but I thought that at one point that we were friends, but maybe I put too much expectations, and people say, don't have too much expectations. But why shouldn't we have expectations of people? Because we actually get into any kind of relationship, we want expectation, we want certain things out of it, and I always lay out very clearly. I don't care, okay. That's just my personality. But the thing is this: when they actually disappoint you, and if it develops in a state where you get triggered, you feel negative, then you realize probably it's not like probably the kind of thing that you want to get into. And what I realized was this: um, I can keep up wishing good wishes, whatever, but it's just like I'm throwing pebbles into the well. It gets nowhere. It starts accumulating everything, and how long am I going to do that? And then, or in the worst case scenario, it could be what we call casting pearls before swine. And there was one thing that I kind of realized. I mean, I didn't know it. I actually remember that I had a certain bit of a so-called meltdown situation where I actually posted in the Orthodox faith forum that I joined. I said I need a lot of peace because the thing is that one particular friend, he came from a very liberal Pentecostal charismatic background. I don't think he actually attends church anymore, but the strange thing is, I'll tell you very honestly, I think that he's very heterodox. He doesn't believe in the historical doctrines of Christianity because he said once about that thing about karma and narcissistic views. Guess what he said? He said, "Oh, the karma that the narcissist experiences is in the now. I don't think there's any afterlife and whatever." Okay, that's another red flag. Okay, I hate to say this. If you were to tell me that you're a Christian, but you yourself keep on denying what the Christian faith says, I mean, fine, that's your own belief, but don't go around saying that you're Christian because you're probably not a Christian or you're not Orthodox anyway. Uh, but on some occasions years ago, I remember hearing certain things that he said about Catholicism, and I'll be honest, because most of the world doesn't know what is Orthodoxy. And when I actually converted or went onto that path, um, it wasn't well received by people. Okay, some people either kept quiet, some people cut me off. They think, oh, this guy is joining a so-called Catholic, whatever, church faith and whatever, or the kind of close cousin of the Catholic faith, when it's not Catholic. But that aside, there's something else about the whole, I mean, the world is taught to hate Catholicism, and even as well as Catholicism and Orthodoxy. It's just like even Protestants do that. They hate Orthodox. They hate evangelicals do that, and there'll be people avoiding me. So I remember actually posting like this whole thing on it's like a emergency crisis post on the Orthodox where I said, please pray for me. I need a lot of peace because I think I lost quite a lot of friends ever since I became Orthodox. And the strange thing is that I mean, other than some of the posts saying that they will pray for me, whatever. I mean, I don't know any of them personally. So one of them just said, he said, you know what? If someone just cuts you off or distances themselves from you because of your change in your values, then probably they're not really true friends to begin with. They said true friends will actually stay with you even if you are, you have a change of your values. And I kind of realized this one thing. One of them was saying something that actually made a lot of sense. He said that when he was in his business venture, people said, "Is he crazy?" But then like 15 years on, that which is now, his business is still around. Okay, and I know one thing for sure. People think that I'm crazy when I say that I'm actually going to go back study again. Some people just think that it's like I'm already 47, turning 48. But there's no time like now. Really honestly, how long do I have to wait till I turn 60s and 70s when I'm actually in an unhappy job? And the things like I'm not making as enough money as I should. I mean, I can still save whatever, but it's not the kind of life I want. Okay, and the thing is this: just now I'm talking about the breakdown. Halfway through, I was eating at Popeye's chickens. I mean, it sounds very cheesy, fried chicken. And then I was reading the messages on the Facebook forum that are asking for prayers from the group of Orthodox Christians, and then I really got triggered because I was thinking about my grandmother. The thing is that I think that is people don't realize that she was the one, the fact that her passing, the passing of my grandmother the trauma was the one major event that actually triggered a lot of changes when I actually left the evangelical Christian faith to become Orthodox, and not Orthodox Jew but Orthodox Christian. Okay, and the thing was a realization, that I cannot stay on anymore. There are a lot of things that I felt that it was just like evangelical Christianity was losing its moral imperative, and there was a lot of self righteousness, which like is poisoning the whole well. And what happens is that in Orthodoxy, I can pray all I want for my grandmother's well being, and not just my grandmother, my grandfather, and for those who have passed. And this is something that I can do. So what? So what? I mean, God is not gonna take me for task just because I've been doing it. I'm not gonna like get punished or go to hell because I pray for the dead. Because you know what? This is something that was even done by the Jews in the first and second Maccabees. There were references to it, and it was done even in the Catholic Church. Okay, and the Orthodox Church has been doing it way before that. Okay, and so I don't see why there's a kind of continuity. But okay, back to the whole thing. I was in tears. I was like in an emotional state. Then I was just thinking, God, I've lost so much to like really follow you. I actually, what would you want me to do? There was some kind of random thought just pop up and saying, you know what? It was reminding me of my past, because past I left to go to so far to Canada, like it's the extreme north of and the Atlant the other side of the world from Asia. And then I also went to Australia, although that part didn't work out, and I went to Korea and South Korea and Japan, and then to work and to study for a while. And the thing that I realized is this. I mean, I know it's crazy that my friend said, one friend who's American said, can you imagine in 4 or 5 years you basically like moved and lived in a few countries, including the USA and Canada. It's like and also Japan. I was like so impressive, although you might not see it that way. And then I was like, the whole thing was this the whole sudden thing in the midst of the emotional moment. I was like, after I asked God, I was praying in a way while eating. I was like, oh God, what will you have me do? There was some kind of voice saying, it's like, follow me to the ends of the earth, wherever I go and wherever I lead you. So yeah, wherever I lead you. So I know it sounds crazy. I mean, I could be staying in Singapore, studying again, or I could be going to somewhere else. I don't know, but I know that in the end, ultimately, thing is, I mean, losing one or two friends. What is it if I lose God? Is it better to have God? And I can't realize this in the end. I said, the thing is this. The second thing is this. If it's not just about okay, the first point was about asymmetry, but the second point is this: if you have friends who really do not have values that are encouraging, which are not helping you to grow, I think maybe it's time to just let them go, at least distance yourself from them. Because I kind of realized this, especially the last few years I've been like I think since 2021, the end of 2021, yeah, I got back into this thing of prepping for bodybuilding competitions and everything. I realized, I don't go out drinking. I don't go out drinking with friends, or so-called going to coffee sessions, because I know that doing so will actually disrupt my diet. And it's not so much just I mean, I'm not a personal trainer and everything, but the thing is, I realized, if I had just been distracted, I went out to eat with friends all the time, meet with them, I I could have potentially just jeopardized my the outcome of whatever I was doing. And I mean, it's not that I don't want to meet my friends, and occasionally I might still try to talk to them and everything. But I realized that the thing is, ultimately at the end of the day, especially for those, I think this is actually to those who are trying to recover from abuse and PTSD, everything. So how are you going to put this in someone else's hands to recover? You can't. Okay, you have to really just put it in your own hands, focus on yourself, do the things you really want to do. And I kind of realized that in those few years, like 2021, 2022, 2023, 2023 I didn't compete, but I think during the early part of the year in January I had some photo shoots. But This year I might get back. I'm gonna get back, but I mean, because I lost a lot of weight from being sick and everything. I'm just have to take time. But I realize this one thing. When I'm focusing on myself, I don't have time to focus on friends who don't care about me or who just don't have time for me, and or people, not just friends, but people who just don't have time for me. And in fact, I was way happier. I could sort of think about other things as well, like how what am I gonna get to, the next stage of life, everything. And in fact, it's not that bad. Even if I don't end up doing my studies overseas, I can. If I do it here, the main thing is this: I gotta start focusing on myself. I can't, after trying so hard in a narcissistic relationship years ago to try to nourish other people, and I carried the habit even into my friendships. It was not doing me any good. Okay, I I can't do this anymore. Okay, it's really enough is enough. Okay, this is really enough is enough. That song, enough is enough is enough. Okay, I can't go on anymore. Okay, so anyway, that's it. Okay, just two things. Uh, I hope everyone realizes this. The people around you keep around you will actually they could potentially stumble you. In fact, I feel that in the end, it's nothing wrong with being alone. I kind of realize this now. At one point I was thinking, I feel a bit like I'm alone and everything. Sometimes even like yesterday night, I had a dream about finding a girl, the girl that who will be my life partner, and then I was like, and I can't remember. It was a very deep dream and everything, but maybe it was the result of my sleep supplement. But I I can't I really can't go on this way to try and nourish people, because some of them are just, if they are not emotional vampires, they're just like they're deep holes. Because you know why? They're not responding to you. They don't give back any energy. So what gives? Do I have to have some like emergency whatever? And then the thing is this. I think one friend many years ago whom I don't talk to now, because I think I mean it's like she probably doesn't even know that I'm actually back in Singapore for all I know. She said once to me something that she said that friends always, sometimes people change, we have different interests, we grow out of each other, and it's perfectly fine. There's no resentment on either side, whatever. I mean, in my case I had a bit of resentment, but but whatever. The thing is this, I realized that no one is really this indispensable. And the fact is, the more we put something in someone else's hands, this is going to like really be backfire. It's going to stop us from really finding our own kind of sweet spot in life. And yeah, I mean, seriously, like, I was just thinking back on that. I was so fulfilled and so happy in a way, although I was doing it by myself all the time. I was being loner and solo warrior, but during the last few years. But perhaps this is what is meant, because I had this whole thing. I was doing that tarot reading on the 2020, yeah, during the beginning of the year. Actually, I brought that one tarot card, but nowadays I just sold that card, tarot card, but deck. But the thing is this, that the deck had the reading of the Hermit reverse. So it was supposedly saying that I'm going to get out of my solitude, whatever, or my hermitude. But now it looks like I'm going to be back in this whole self-imposed exile from human society. Uh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, honestly, it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna talk through with the psychologist about this. But nowadays we always talk about this so-called loneliness epidemic. Is true. I'm not like, especially with me being a the INFP personality type on the Myers-Briggs personality scale, is actually way harder, because I'm not an extrovert. But seriously, the thing is this: the person who moves alone, he moves faster in life. Okay, don't ever doubt that. I can't realize this, uh, and I realized after this, you know what? I'll be moving faster towards studies for all I know, towards getting my goal. I don't care that people say that I'm crazy or think that I'm like this person that I'm so full of negativity, blah blah blah. I mean, it's just a perception. The thing is, I had a like a so-called former friend who I had to cut off. It was all the better, okay, because he was standing in between me and my own perception of myself or what I could do. and that friend Jacob was seriously was calling me toxic when he's the one who's really toxic. The pot calling the kettle black, and yeah, I really wouldn't. I don't buy that, and then I just block him. So yeah, seriously, my mom keeps on telling me this over and over again. I think that maybe she has a grain of truth. She says that we don't really need that many friends or even need any friends. Okay, we have to live with ourselves. She used to tell me that when I was younger, because she said that sometimes you can't really rely on friends. Okay, and especially those friends, so-called good friends, some of them will betray you. She told me that, or they will just walk out on you, because you are not convenient enough for them. Okay, at a stage in life. This is the wisdom of my mom. Okay, and I think she's right. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna go off and sleep because it's quite late. So have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.